happy Thanksgiving Eve, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware. I am Marshal Manlove from Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. And on this broadcast, I have brought some talented volleyball players from a very successful program here in Newark, Delaware. And now, let's hope when I hit this button, they all appear on the screen. There they are. Yes. And then let me just double check to make sure that it's actually coming in. Sports reports. Hang on. Excuse that. Because I have a tendency to mess up the technology. Let's make sure we're coming in there. Come on, show up on the screen. So you can see this. See this? Grief. Now somebody wants to call me. All right, there we are. We are good to go. All right. From the Newark Charter High School volleyball team, what a real great year this year. Ended up third in the state. In the bottom left-hand corner there, you see their head coach, Jessica Weller. Above her is senior Jillian Burrows. Let's see, to the left of Jill, but to her right on the screen, that's senior Angela Steinkraus. Hello.
Hi.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, there is Isabel Asenian, their senior setter. Welcome to the show, and congratulations on your year this year. You had a fantastic year. And let's begin by doing this. Coach Weller, first of all, I want to mention that when I did this show a long time ago, prior to my 12-year hiatus, we're just reminiscing that I actually interviewed you when you were at Wilmington College, and you were a setter there. So I think it's kind of cool that somebody that I interviewed a long time ago when they were participating is now bringing on players of her own. Talk about this team, these three particular seniors here, and how they helped contribute to your team's success this year.
Well, this group of seniors just brought an amazing dynamic and leadership. Before the season started last summer, they were instrumental in getting the girls to Titus and to get training started before the season even began. And they all have a very unique leadership style that's very different from each other. So no matter who they were talking to, everyone could relate to a leader on the team. And I feel like this group of girls, they are such close friends outside of the volleyball gym that is what really makes it feel like a family inside the gym.
So we'll talk about that a little bit more, because I believe that it's very, very important to have a successful culture that is different from perhaps just the regular student culture and the different cultures that from the other sports as well. So, Jill, talk about your season and what was memorable for you about it.
I think it was really it didn't hit me until the end of the season that it was my last season. But I think playing at the Bob really was a great way to end it, especially winning, because I know we wanted that really badly.
It's always nice to end up on a win, and you beat a very, very talented Wilmington Friends school in that third place match for sure. And what position did you play, or positions did you play throughout the season, Jill?
I played left back, and then in front row, I played right side.
Mm-hmm. And more or less, I think you had about 65 kills this year. That's a pretty successful year. I was adding them up. There was one match I didn't find any stats for, but regardless, that's still a pretty successful year. And what does your immediate future hold for you?
I plan on going to UD and studying for pre-med.
Oh, pre-med. Yeah,
Yep.
Nice. It's nice to know a future doctor, just in case. I am getting old, so I'm going to need a couple of them in the future. Angela, how about you? Talk about your season. What stood out for you?
Well, I mean, I was really glad, we were able to end with a win this season, and I think one of the reasons we were so successful and like had so much fun was because of, like we were saying earlier, how close everyone was, and we were really able to create this like trust off the court, which then translated on the court, and I think that was really a key like aspect of our team.
And same question for you. What's your immediate future hold for you?
Yeah, I plan on going to nursing school.
Ah, good. It's a nurse and a doctor in the future here. That's awesome. Isabel, how about you? So let me just ask this a different question. Pick out some of the highlights of your season for you.
So there's definitely a lot, but
Just talk, let me get you to talk up just a little louder, though.
oh, okay. So there's definitely a lot, but I guess my favorite would be I love going to Big Oaks. Okay, I love going camping with the volleyball team, which is definitely a highlight. And then just like Jillian said, playing at the Bob and like getting third and beating. And I know a lot of people from Friends, and I've played volleyball with them for a really long time. So like kind of starting my season like 6 years ago and ending it with like players on my team and players I used to play with on Friends was like something special to me.
So I'm going to give you a moment that about you that was maybe you don't put this in one of your memorable categories here, but there was the match against St. Mark's in your gym when you got injured temporarily. Talk about that injury. What happened on that particular play?
So I think I landed on someone's foot when I came down from blocking, and I just sprained my ankle. But yeah, it was painful, but I guess I just played through it. And me and our trainer did a lot of things behind the scenes, I guess, so I could get better and kind of play through the injury. If that makes sense.
So here's what I kind of compare that to, on a high school volleyball level anyway. It was kind of like a Willis Reed moment. And Willis Reed was a basketball player for the New York Knicks who got injured in a championship series game and came back to this raucous celebration from the fans at at Madison Square Garden. And in that particular game, your gym was filled to capacity there too. And when you came back on the court, because you're the setter of that team, you're the quarterback of that team and not to diminish the talent of whoever replaced you at that time, but that can be a big moral blow. And when you came back, your student body went nuts. It was kind of reminiscent of that for me, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think you're going to look back on that oh yeah. Do you remember that? Do you remember the reception that you got by any chance?
Yeah, I thought it was embarrassing actually, but yeah, but everyone knows each other. It's not that big of a school, so I think we're all pretty close, and we all try to get our friends out. So obviously, no one wanted to see me hurt because there's so many people there.
And congratulations to you. You celebrated a special milestone in that last match of the season. Want to talk about that? What that was?
Yeah. So I hit my 1,000 assists at the Bob. Which was really fun and exciting. And sophomore Sarah Schutz, I think was my 1,000 assists. But yeah, obviously I could not have done it if there weren't people passing and people getting kills. So it was a good thing to end my last game with Angela and Jillian and all the people I've gotten close with.
Yeah, for those who watch outside of our area, it's no small feat that your school comes in third place, because the state volleyball championships have been dominated by Catholic Conference teams. So you were the #1 public school this year, right?
Yes.
So, take that to heart, because it's definitely a very solid accomplishment. So, Jill, talk about some of the other players on your team who helped contribute. Not everybody could be here, of course, but and all the other players contribute. It's a team sport, and talk about some of them and what they meant to you.
Okay, I'll talk about most of the defensive people. So McKenna Ritchie, our libero, has saved my life a bunch of times on the court, getting balls that I was supposed to get, but she got. So I always appreciate her. And also Jordan Williams, who would play right and left back. She's all over the court, reading everything, and I really don't think we would have been as successful if we didn't have those two players.
All right. The same question for you, Angela. If there was somebody else that Jill didn't mention, who would you like to mention?
Yeah, I can talk about some of the front row players. So, I mean, obviously we have Aubrey Celeste, who was a great asset this year. She's super smart. She always knows where to put the ball, and she really got us some key kills. And we also had our middles, Emily Turner and Sarah Schutz. They worked super hard this season and definitely worked on closing the block. And by the end of the season, I feel like they would get touches on almost like every ball. So that was a huge help for our defense.
Isabel, did they leave anybody out that you want to mention?
We also have like a really good bench, which like is a huge part of our success because let's say like someone's having an off day, someone can easily be thrown in. And there's a lot of players with like high intensity and high positivity. Like Lila is one of them. And also like for me, I think Sarah was a big part of my success just because she's very different in like she's a very different middle and how I'm used to setting. So it kind of forced me to be better because I had to adapt to her and we had to like kind of mesh together since we haven't played before, since Ava got hurt in the beginning of the season.
And so here's a little exercise I like to play here. Exercise, play. Yeah, let's do it like this. Jill, say something nice about Angela.
Angela always knows where to put the ball, even if there's a big block up against her.
Okay, and Angela, say something nice about Isabel.
She's probably the smartest setter I've ever known. She always like reads the other side of the court and reads her blockers, so she knows like where to set at the right time.
And Isabel, say same thing for you. You have Jill.
I think Jill's gotten a lot better with hitting this year, and I always know when she hits line that there's no one there, so it's a guaranteed point, and I always love watching it happen.
And then you're the captain, right, Isabel?
I'm the floor captain, but we're all captains.
Oh, you're all captains? Okay,
Yeah.
so you can take your turns on this one and talk about your coach and what she means to you and the program there.
I guess I can go first. I already gave a speech in where we cried, so I can't do it again. But just because like Coach Weller has been with us for a long time, and like even when we were in middle school, like the varsity team would come down and watch us. So it's been like a long time coming and like growing. And since obviously Coach Weller is a setter too, it's like a different type of vibe. But she's really been like a mentor these past couple of years.
All right, Angela, your turn.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Weller, like, she cares about the team as a whole, but we can all tell that she cares about us individually too. And she's always finding new ways to try to motivate us. And I think that was such a big help this season, especially at practice and, you know, working hard at practice on specific things that we knew we would have to do during our next game.
Jill, your turn.
On more of like a personal note, Coach really believed in me to fill in the role for right side because I've been working this past club season and like talking about it a few seasons ago if I'd be able to play front row, and she really believed that I could, and I was very glad I had the opportunity to play right side.
And Isabel, I didn't ask you what your future holds for you. You're going to play in college, going to college. What are your plans?
So I'm going to college. I'm not sure where, but I want to major in either political science or sociology, and then if the future holds, end up going to law school like 4 years after.
Yeah, lawyer, doctor, nurse, good. Got Got you all lined up for the next 10 years when I'm going to need help in lots of ways here. So let's talk about the culture of the team. One of the things I like to talk about is what you all do together to get ready for a match. Are there certain rituals, traditions that you have? What might some of those be?
Well, before most of our away games, well, in our home games, I guess too, but for our away games, we would go over to McKenna Ritchie's house, and we would have team dinners there, and we would all like do each other's hair and get ready for the game, and it was really fun and just like kind of to prepare for the game.
Any of you have any superstitions or anything like that? You know, I don't know, tap your foot 3 times before you step on the court, anything like that you have?
So actually that you said that, ever since I sprained my ankle, it had to be Kristen that taped it, our trainer. Otherwise, every game that she didn't tape it, we lost. So that's why she had to come in extra early on our playoff games and tape my ankle.
Anybody use have a good luck charm or anything of that nature?
Well, I know. Go ahead, Ange.
I didn't have like a good luck charm, but I mean, I did my hair the same way like all throughout the season, so that was probably mine.
Also, Izzy refuses to get new shoes, so I have a feeling that is also involved in it.
And I also would like to add that we are burning our red jerseys because we feel like we don't play our best when we're wearing the red. So we like the blue jerseys better.
Hey, that's important. All the mental aspects are definitely a big part of that. So, Coach, talk about, as far as the mental aspect of the game is concerned, what are some of the things that you do to help motivate your team to succeed on a regular basis, but more importantly, even when things might not be going so well?
Well, I think mental toughness was something that we worked a lot on this year because this is a very talented group of players. And, for the past 2 seasons, we've suffered some losses in the playoffs that really stung. And we feel like, we really needed to be able to perform under pressure. And we had all the skills. We just were falling a little bit short when it came to delivery. So this season, we worked a lot on, being able to play under pressure and setting up drills in the gym that reminded them that these are going to be the same uncomfortable situations that we're in when we're down. And we have to be able to rise. And if we can't do it during practice, we're not going to be able to when we're faced with it in the games. So I feel like trying to, talk about a sports breath. My assistant coaches, June and Jules, they work great with, being that positive other coach, because sometimes as the head coach, you have to deliver that tough news. But they always would remind you, take that sports breath. You got this. Also, something in the huddles that we did, if we called a timeout, we actually would design the next play. All right, this is who's passing. You're setting Ange is going to put it away. Or we're serving, Jill's going to put up a big block. And, we really tried to foreshadow what was going to happen, because when, athletes sometimes are feeling down, you have to give them that positivity that, hey, the ball's coming to you. We believe in you and we want you to put it away. And I feel like those were just a few of the things that we did. But I also think that the girls spoke to the trust that they developed in each other. And Jill spoke to, people helping and cover other areas, and just somebody was going to get the ball, and they were going to have each other's backs. And Isabel and Ange actually told me about this opportunity at Sean's house. It's a nonprofit in Newark, and they focus on mental toughness. And so we had a team dinner there. They were lovely. They hosted us, and it was nice to have a D1 athlete, Allie Banks. She's a rower at UD, and she just kind of had a different perspective with the girls, and she got them to open up and, really talk about some of those situations that were hard for us and how we tackle those. And I think, that opportunity, in my eyes, it was nice to sit back and just listen to them feel comfortable to share in front of, a different person who was, saying basically the same things that we say, but just in a different way. And sometimes it's more relatable from a younger athlete. So I think that was also a super opportunity that we had this season.
Yeah, and these lessons that you learn from the times that are more adverse, when you push through some of that anguish, perhaps pain, or what helps you succeed in life later on too. So the fact that you're all able to do that, come out as successful as you were, are testimonies to your future successes, I am sure. Anything that I'm missing here, Coach?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. All right. What's everybody doing for Thanksgiving? Jill?
I'm going to 3 different places, so I will be eating a lot of food over
Nice.
the next few days.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, you're lucky. Yeah, 3 places. I only got 1. Can to work on that. All right, Jill. Angela? How about you?
I'm going up to my cousin's house in New Jersey, and my grandparents from Massachusetts are going to be there too, so it'll be good to see everyone.
Okay, we're about in New Jersey.
They live in Glen Ridge.
Okay.
It's like all the way in the
Yep.
north.
Yep, in Bergen County. Yeah, from that area. Isabel, how about you?
I'm going to Philly with like our family friends for Thanksgiving, and then we're all having like a Friendsgiving on Saturday, so I'll be with like Jill, Ange, and like the rest of my friend group.
Awesome. Coach, how about you?
I am going to my mom's.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. All right. Well, I want to thank the Newark Charter Volleyball team for joining me here this morning. I appreciate that. I am happy for your success, and I hope the best for all of you graduating Patriots. Coach, hopefully we will see you again next year. I'm sure they've extended your contract there, right? Long-term
Yes.
contract?
They have, thankfully.
You
They'll
have?
have me back for another year.
All right, good. And I'm certain that I will see you on a volleyball court out there for sure. Stay with me. Just mute your mics there for a minute while I'm going to close up this segment, and I'll get back to you here in a moment. All right. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy your Thanksgiving. So that was the Newark Charter Volleyball team from Newark, Delaware, who joined us here today. Joined me, and you. Hopefully you have been watching. And this segment is brought to you by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. You want a funny show? Want an inspirational show? Check out my website at marshalmanlove.com, and you can find out more about that. And if you have any information you would like to send to me, send it to me at mysportsreports@gmail.com. You have a suggestion for an athlete interview, help me set it up, just reach out to me at mysportsreports@gmail.com. And let me think, what else? I think that'll be it. Yeah. Until next time, I am Marshal Manlove, and now I am gone.